Hello? I don't know who will see this, hear this, whatever. Please stop calling MAGA. Please stop calling Trump supporters. Please stop calling Elon Musk and whomever else Nazis. Please stop comparing them to Nazis. Comparing them to Nazis does no damage to the narrative that they're trying to construct. It does nothing to limit what they're trying to achieve. It doesn't rouse what anyone might imagine are reasonable people to any kind of action. The only thing you're doing when you call someone a Nazi or compare them to Nazis is out your own self as one of their enemies. And you're showing yourself to be an enemy at a time when they are drawing lines in the sand that these same so-called reasonable people are actually, in reality, responding to. Calling people dumb doesn't help. Calling people uneducated doesn't help. Appealing to someone's faith, to someone's goodness, or to someone's common sense doesn't help. As the world becomes increasingly dystopian in reality, people don't want to take responsibility for being wrong. And they are showing us that they are willing to follow someone who tells them, you're right. And someone who tells them, here are the actual people and things responsible. If our goal is we want things to be better, I think appealing to things like facts, common sense, science, and so on has to be taken with the same grain of salt that is being taken by these people that we are talking about. The ridiculousness of their cause, their narrative, and their behaviors aside, these things have to be looked at objectively. They are successfully, it needs to be said again, they are successfully building a massive global coalition. This coalition is becoming more polar by the day, and we identify ourselves as the enemy of this coalition when we call people Nazis, or when we use words like diversity, equity, or inclusion. When pronouns are discussed, they know that the people in that conversation are enemies. Vaccines, fluoridated water are practices of the enemy, so on and so forth, etc. You're going to witness their coalition get stronger and do bolder anti-human behaviors, and you're going to exclaim out loud, wow, this is crazy, isn't it? And then you're going to look around and be alone with these same people that you just called crazy all looking at you. We have no coalition. All those who think that there are some broad majority of people that have common sense and this sleeping giant will wake up when things get bad enough, all of you, whomever you are moving towards being the single one-eyed man in a room full of angry blind people. We need to build a coalition of people who are willing to do more than have quiet conversations with liberal friends at work. We need a coalition of people who will do more than share Donald Trump is dumb memes on Discord. We need a coalition of people who understand that this kind of right-wing coalition that's being built and the alarming increase in polarization in an economic petri dish as fucked up as this one only ends one way. Liberals, Democrats, Labor Party can all eat a dick. They exist only as slightly less right-wing pseudo-opposition to this budding colonial renaissance. That's what's happening here. A colonial renaissance. The trickle-down effect, so-called alleged trickle-down effect of the capitalist empire was designed to give poor settler-colonials a better life. We've been speeding through end-stage capitalism, which, by the way, is working exactly as it was intended, in case no one's figured that out yet. But rather than share their ungodly wealth with the masses, the billionaires and this coalition are setting the stage for another bite at the colonial apple to appease poor settler colonials. Liberals, Democrats, Labor Party, they're just, they're the good cop in a good cop, bad cop dynamic that has been created to give us the illusion of choice. If you aren't one of the settler colonizers yourself, if you're not an advocate for the empire, I highly advise you to stop calling people Nazis. Stop calling them dumb. Stop talking about them in hushed tones at the office water cooler. Stop posting memes on Facebook. Recognize that they are becoming an organized existential threat. Stop wasting your time pointing out their absurdities. Take them seriously. More importantly, though, please, 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 please start building a coalition. Be as innocent as doves on the surface, but as shrewd as snakes behind closed doors. The word freedom is a dog whistle. What is meant when you hear freedom from a settler colonizer is freedom from guilt. Freedom from responsibility for the innumerable indigenous, black, and Chinese bodies that this thing was built on. Freedom from the aftermath of systemic rape that created entire groups of people who previously didn't exist. Freedom of exploitation. Freedom from caring about other people in pursuit of your own individual goals. Freedom to be mediocre, well paid, and a so-called patriot while driving your Japanese, German, or Korean car that was assembled in Mexico. Freedom to take freedom to take something from someone else who can't defend themselves. Freedom to squeeze lemons on your salad that were picked by a migrant who didn't take a job you wanted and was most certainly paid less than minimum wage to pick those lemons. This freedom, quote unquote, is in direct opposition to justice, and it's in direct opposition to equity. Thank you.